Welcome, this is your Option Monster Volatility Sonar Report. From the floor of the CBOE, this is Jamie Tyrrell from Group 1 Trading. Well, the rally yesterday was enormous. It was a 7% rally, one of the biggest rallies we've had during this bear market cycle. And the reason, as we went over yesterday, was the bad bank plan, a plan by banks to buy out, or a plan by the government to buy up toxic assets, both the government and private investors doing the buying. Well, it seems over this entire market cycle, the things that really have been moving the market are the financials and government action on the financials. So today we've had a day free from a lot of major news from struggling financial firms, free from large government statements that would move the markets in those equity names. So we've had a much quieter day. A couple stories came out. Home prices rose in January for the first time in almost a year, and a couple names came out with earnings today. Williams-Sonoma had a 90% decline in profits. In the VIX, we've had a quiet day of trading, much like the quiet day in the overall market thus far today. The strategies we're seeing employed are some of the most similar strategies to the ones we saw yesterday. There are a lot of people selling option premium in all months in the VIX right now, betting on a more range-bound VIX. So today we saw people selling those downside puts, little puts, 30-cent puts that are about $10 out of the money, to see what they can collect on those. So they sold the April 35s for 30 cents. They sold the May 32s for 30 cents, and they sold the June 30s for 30 cents. So we saw that action today, just somebody taking a bet on downside puts not ending up in the money. The other strategy we saw was called a Condor trade. We've talked about butterfly trades, where people are buying the outside strikes, selling two of one middle strike. The Condor is a very similar idea. You're buying one of the outside strikes and then selling two inside strikes one time. So in this case, the customer bought one of the May 30s puts, bought one of the May 42 puts, then sold the 35 put, sold the 37 put. The payoff structure on somebody buying a Condor is like a trapezoid. You start making money at your outside points at 30 and 42 and a half, and then you go up on diagonals until you hit your middle points, 35 and 37 and a half, and then it's just a straight line across. So they start making money at 30 and 42 and a half. They get up to $5 between 35 and 37 and a half. So the bet here is that the VIX will stay in this range, betting a little bit lower VIX, but still a range-bound VIX. Making a bet that it's going to finish between 30 and 42 and a half, and their best payoff is between 35 and 37 and a half. Today the customer bought that 1,500 times. They paid $2.05 for it. So they'll make $2.95 if it finishes between 35 and 37 and a half, and they'll break even at about 32 and 40.50. So that was their bet, betting on a range-bound VIX. We've seen a number of bets like that, and as a result, our vols are very low. The back-month vols are the lowest we've seen in weeks. So that's what we got going here. Jamie Tyrrell, Option Monster.
Folks, if you watch Jamie every day talk about the VIX and the volatilities, and you're wondering, boy, I'd like to take advantage of some of that information, I just am sort of new to options and so forth, what better way to do it, folks, than with something like a paper trade? By the way, a paper trade is not any capital commitment. In fact, our sister company, Trade Monster, you can open a paper trading account without even funding the account. So all you got to do is go to trademonster.com, you fill out just your name and so forth, bang! You're able to trade on paper. It's not real capital you're putting on the line, but then take a look at all these different strategies. I mean, you can do covered calls, you can do straddles, you can do strangles, you can do all these different strategies, and it's got a tutorial built into each one that you can actually learn. Again, always learn before you commit your capital to it. I'm Dr. J from OptionMonster.com. Remember, our sister company, Trade Monster, and that paper trading account, make sure you open an account and try it out.